Mr. Lynch, life's ordinary, whatever. Good morning, Mr. Massimo, Mr. Simple. Simply, 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 David. And this is last month, I'll say this. I showed you the 4, it means 9, 79 years, because less than a month it will be 80, birthday sono già 20, so much better me. But yesterday, it's December 25, 2025, and it's Tuesday. And if you want to do new parties in some way, I would like to wish a very happy Merry Christmas to everyone. David, Mr. Lynch, what is the Christmas there in the evening? I hope you enjoy it. Also the evening yesterday. His dining car was together with Julie Cruz and Mr. Angelo Badalamenti and also others. So as the lunch, a great beautiful lunch of today. If he believes in the parties, not from Italy, in Naples, we are incredible bad time after 4 days. We've been totally glad in sky today. Beautiful blue sky. Today is totally clear. Scantazione generale, totally clear scantazione generale. Tutto si now. It's early between 14 and 3 minutes. 16 16 Celsius, this is really cold down. This is years cold. It's winter period, so this was for the sequels for the effect channel. For just last Tuesday, it was fact very overcome for us with the birds the last past summer. So someone remember if all over the main during last past summer, I think body was fact to be really overcome also for us with the birds due to now also for the winter overcoming for us with the birds. 4 days ago was we entered in winter, previous 16 and 3 and 4 at 3 p.m. in Italy. And so, however, as I don't remember in Corborio, so very Chinese supposed to I'm sure, totally amazing. So it's intense for proposal, the contribution to Chinese is better perhaps paradox for me. The new student collaborations for the winter, spring, for the spring and the summer and the autumn is fact for the spring, so soft for the summer, agitated for the autumn, once again, soft, so that's in general, this is to be a scarcity. And as regarding the inglese, this for me was something was absolutely incomplete, but no, not because it's cold in general, but because I don't feel cold, or I feel less than cold less than other people. There was a series of practice I do in some years. In fact, on every winter of every years, I explain this thing in a comment under the video. Also in this case, if someone is interested, I should explain as an item this thing or start this practice that I follow through which some years I try to fight cold. So if someone is interested in these comments, in the section should be 5 comments. The comment section, I don't know if for people from 8 I think or not, if it's called from 90 I think yes, but 19% I think or not. However, in general for me, in some way also, instead of what I scattered so in general, I think I can say something just for this silly mood on this team, so I can be free, some shooting from this. Magari di after, finché a 3 produzioni si dice, ripete just before, 6 net fan e 16 Celsius. Ci vedi? Today, yeah, it's beautiful. Ruska senza ciò sei mai destinata easy because the rest behind the passes now see two things later the comments sunshine in general and the sun in general sunshine in particular first thing is that now see for the same and extract from the bottom classical song solo mio because I think it's became a bit from my last past summer so someone non remember if they follow me fico body so ma che bello solo mio, sta in fronte a te, o solo mio, sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a me, sta in fronte a te. Scusate, in questa c'è il suo mede, le desiderio, se continui effettivamente, ci vuole 600 che non verso mezza scena, nel senso che tanti things effettivamente, se partono non sapete, che it's impossible, non vi fate che siete, obviously until now, tensione video, so ne scappa tensione video, change of hours of more than 16, 7 months ago. In pratica, no, almost 7 months ago, so no, last Saturday, October, 1 hour before, most fact, I read, but from now and then, sun sky for rather 2 hours and it's 20 minutes, 5 minutes maximum, or less in comparison to all, ma anche su è completely different schedule. Well, so, stata meglio, quindi stata così adesso a insomma avete questo di room, stata room, e all the difference color of the flower, solo on the flower itself, fact the color of the flower with the flowers with the second curtain was yellow gold, color first, the third was pink, and the color of the first one, and the color of the third. It's not pink, it's really similar. I don't know if you can see the words from this shot near me, I think yes. Or even better, surely better, is the shot right here, the first part of video which Ferruccio, the shot with the weather scatter oxygen from the window. To vedere, as you also see in the room, so from me, quindi non what curtini, quindi sono fatto mix tutti i plazzi, sono curti, trastom le guarda, magari tengo sul birthday, the previous, beautiful grey curtini, beautiful printed pages, and to keep on these things, the passage from the previous curtini to new, also these things later to remettere, si vuole read one in the comment section, the video should be before, perhaps pointed in first comment, but see comment section, but I don't know if you, now I showed you the, also the same shot that I showed you before for this routine because through this shot you see it surely very well and this factory semi shot the first part of the video which Ferruccio I showed you the weather scatter from the other window, the classic window in classic room. Also, this other pratica is a shot similar to the classic shot film, ma interessa pure l'ultimo trap su forse sta cortina color cortina ni fanno me exactly sicuro che le cortine stili in colore meglio vicino io sono in tema ci dice in git sciù in git e di shot su storia di effect che buffo un reason che riesce a su un reason fatto ma quando riesce first because the effect imagine not see the picture sentence sta reduce so che for the i cortine non si che perhaps forse sta cortina color cortina differente ma exactly sì non si che sai lì sei the picture sentence so for the cortina and sorry but see also the case 3-4 times and this new and this little speech of sentence is about tools and always better visible for me needs sentirti in this shot at this point is mythical leggenda shot. Basically, conosciuto il attivism, not mistake, activism in the first days of October, where it's important because important that also there is an activism, and so I illustrate this little speech of the curtain because it's very also for it, I repeat once again, but also and always better visible for me, it's sentirti, in this shot, anticipanti si mico, la genere shot. And finally, from my medical keyboard, and checks coming for PG, it's exactly different. Also, this isn't this medical shut. But here's the people for the process like getting it away. Also, the system. وصل myself and grass biscuits and finally you get the breakfast with some meat in general also nice as you relate to me fast poi parzette sai vedere che ci sono altri che ti salvi fucking breakfast at finten es family it is to finten appartamenti che si yesterday so finché tre cose che sembra che ti sto facendo vedere che guarda di close really cose che regole lì tutto sono just storia che just un po' 14 and 3 minutes. But, the important thing should see that in me also leave also with so I'm brilliant. Da, questo sì. E che fa sono building from absolutely. So, non sono stranieri, lo solo con di think, lo solo con di think, ma nel perfetto reason private this should be at me, the time ripeto che mi scrive to one day. So io vediamo c'è better più better se presidente di c'è stato di things from sudden shot. Fact se nu ma cosa si che si giochi più se tutto combatto ma sì ma mostonia ma se non sono from sudden big so ma effect fact non mi come se di biscotti sta finché torno nel centro di questa a biscotti chocolate chip cookies lo cui chip chocolate chips fino a mi sei questo tu biscotti in particolare la thing from the red this is what but make fact the shot drink che ti go film se tu si cucina con fa cosa for short fang bit videos shot training last think 6-7 months lo so mas questo finisce adesso si che lo sto conoscendo da pira sono da c'è più ma ripetere lo so mas questo finisce now di senso che soprattutto in finché anni 45 46 47 years adesso si che lo sto conoscendo da pira sono da c'è più su si inserite montare di a patto inserte di once che nel suo very good news quindi se vostri tecniche cose breakfast questo è un momento in particolare per me come se che si va a stabilire il gioco per solito che parte questo niente su of course mi finito questo stanno sette video and if in some also can say toll Nicolas breakfast questo è mega secondo me non si fa non farà due si sta con italiani mi serve sempre questo dice e magari things lettere maturi because altra questa che posizione per dire mamma italiani ragazzi questo troviamo nel film because era lì super bravo. Adesso tomorrow suppose for the info no to tomorrow what quello l'apple ora sì e bitte ne fissa tutti non si battere tutti things solito in session il chiamato perché ci vuole ti vuole essere bene session anche se fa in content sense fact it's impossible to be really active to get it once again